news in 60 minutes. Helemai, come get your genocide. Now to national crisis with the weather.
Hello, Kako. Your beautiful day, Saturday, February 15th, 2020. Your 5-day forecast out in Kona. Your highs in Hawaii, your North Kohala. Highs 80, low 66. Down out to Eno Kapaole Farm down in Pauilo. High 77, low 67. Out in Hilo One, your high is 81, 66 low. Down out in Pohoa, highs 77, and your lows 65. Down out to Pahala Town, 74 high, 61 low, and Kailua Kona, where the air is green and the grass is green. 80s high, 68 lows, and up Mauna Kea, there's a lot of snow. Haleakala is snowing. And for your ocean surf report update, your east shores 3 to 6. Please be advised, high surf on your north ends 6 to 10. Ocean safety is advised. If you're not a professional surfer or a lifeguard, please stay out of the water. And as down along your south shores is 2 to 4, occasional bigger swells. And so your report for today is ocean safety, Kako. Our prayers go out to the families who are lost out at sea for the moment. We pray that Kanaloa keeps them safe and brings them home to our family. That's your weather update, brought to you by your sponsor, He Hawaiiao. Go check them out for your apparel at their Instagram, Homesteady. Mahalo. Now for your Mana Olelo from DJ Derbs.
Aloha, folks. The Mana Olelo for this week is Kapu Aloha. Remember, folks, whenever we need to look up words, we need to use Papakilo database.org or nupepa.org for all of the kupuna newspaper articles that you can search up within seconds. So when you search up the word kapu alone, you have 16,412 hits. When you search up the word aloha alone, you have 96,380 hits. And then when you do a combined search of kapu aloha, only 9 hits pop up. And when you search those 9 hits, all of the 8 of the 9 hits are all irrelevant to the word kapu aloha. So what does that tell you, folks? That tells you our kupuna, when they were fluent, Makaolelo Hawaii, Kokako Olelo, they did not use the word kapu aloha. So today we find that we're innovating on some of our kupuna foundations and values, but for you to really understand what kapu and aloha really means, you need to read those 100,000 articles written by our kupuna. And especially if you're not fluent in the language and you're making words up, like kapu aloha and definitions up, you really need to rethink, re-research before you lead all of our people down the wrong path of what those two words might mean together. So, the mana olelo for today is kapu aloha, and please go to Papakilo database and read 100,000 articles before you start making things up. Mana olelo, kapu aloha. And 2 national crisis for our segment of Smash and Pass.
Aloha moko keawe na ohana ko Hawaii pai aina this week for Smash or Pass. First up, on the week of February 15th, 2020, we have the census for 2020. Kupuna pono.
All right, so one of the topics today is the 2020 census. And should we get involved? And, we need to understand this 2020 census is only taking account of the American population. And we shouldn't be actually involved in any shape, way, or form in participating in the census. Okay, so back in the time of our kingdom, we had our own census, and you had the school agent. So the school agent was also responsible to take a census of the population in the Hawaiian Kingdom. Okay, so, we we shouldn't be involved in this American created 2020 census if you're a Hawaiian subject living in the Hawaiian Kingdom.
So, the census is real quite clear. Give it to him, KP. Smash or pass?
Definitely a smash.
DJ Derbs. The 2020 census.
So I'm not too sure what to think about the census because the numbers do matter when it comes to American dollars and American monies by the amount of Hawaiians there is in each segment. But at the same time, we're going outside of the scope of Hawaiian Kingdom law. So if we just followed and adhered to Hawaiian Kingdom law in the Hawaiian Kingdom, then we wouldn't be requesting or selling our okoles off for some federal dollars through the census. So as you can see, a lot of celebrities are selling okoles for the census in nice commercials. I wonder how much money they're making. So for the census, I gotta say pass for the dollars, for the money, and I gotta say smash because it violates Hawaiian Kingdom law. There you go, National Crisis.
Kako. So, the 2020 census. Mahalo KP for bringing it to us because it's a very important topic for all of us. A lot of family members have benefited from the census to the proper identity of their kupuna. But the process for this, it's not to say no to the process. I say we have to re-implement our Hawaiian Kingdom process for our census data collection because that's what we have done many years before prior. Because now when you look at it, like KP showed, you have to be an American, you need a social security card number, right?
I mean, you need all of that.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to be an American citizen living in the state of Hawaii, and you need to have a social security number. So, are you a Hawaiian subject or an American? Do you live in the Hawaiian Kingdom or you live in the fake state? That's the bottom line. And remember now, that's famous mele, right? I'd rather eat pohaku than sign the paper of the enemy.
There you go. So here you have it. NC, National Crisis, has to smash it, but we also have to re-implement our census kako. So there you have it. We have a smash and a pass. So next up, we got voting 2020 KP. Your input.
Okay, same thing with voting. This voting 2020 process is a fake state American election system. It's not Hawaiian Kingdom. So the bottom line is that who are you? Are you a Hawaiian subject or you're American? Do you live in the Hawaiian Kingdom or you live in the fake state? Okay, so I have a lot of people sharing their mana'o and saying that what, I know I'm a Hawaiian Kingdom subject, but I'm going to vote in the American election because of what they have done to us. But you know what? Two wrongs doesn't make a right.
So that's
And if you're an American,
two wrongs.
go ahead and vote. But you cannot say I'm a Hawaiian subject and you're going to vote in an American election because you know what that is? Mens reus. Okay, so that's a law. It's knowingly, directly or indirectly committing a crime. So if you say you're a Hawaiian subject and you go and vote in the American election system, that's criminal. That's the bottom line. So we need to stand on our principles. If you're a Hawaiian subject, irregardless of what the occupiers are doing to us, we will stand on the principle that we are, Hawaiian subjects. We're living in the Hawaiian Kingdom. So we need to look back at the Ku'e petition, at our kupuna who signed the petition to stop annexation. And we need to move forward with the same mana'o and stand strong. And don't waver, because of what they have done to us or because they entice you with money. If the creation is in pono, then the outcome is important.
And what's the outcome?
The outcome is, if you want to go and vote, knowingly that you're a Hawaiian subject and you're voting in the American election, it's not going to make a difference, simply because they outnumber us. And number two, it is not our system.
Smash or pass?
Definitely a smash.
2020, DJ Derbs. Vote.
Okay, so I got into it with another intellect Hawaiian from Kauai about this very issue, and what he told me is, I'm American. And I go, huh? He said, yeah, my mom was born in America, so therefore, and my father was born in the Hawaiian Kingdom. He told me he has dual citizenship. I was like, what do you mean you got dual citizenship? He said, yeah, by birth. Both sides of my parents were born two places, so I can vote in this fake state election. So I said, oh, okay. Who am I to tell him that he cannot vote because his mother was born American? But then again, he knows about the illegal occupation of the Hawaiian Kingdom, and he knows he's voting for those candidates that look to resolve and solve the current legal and political situation we're in. So on that, I had to give my brother, for explaining it that way, a pass because of his explanation of having dual citizenship.
There you go. DJ Derbs with the pass. Komana'o, voting 2020. Voting 2020, I'm not going to say that we don't have any good family members out there running. You know who you are out there. I hope that our families can get you to come aboard and to try and make a better stance for the community. But as KP and DJ Derbs have explained, this is an unresolved issue that needs to be mandated ASAP, because we can't be voting for colonization. We have to be voting for deoccupation. So with that, voting in American policy is a smash. Next up on the chopping block, we've got the national crisis is moving forward with DJ Derbs and the coronavirus that applied not too long ago. DJ Derbs.
Okay, guys. Coronavirus, people still dying around the world. And I was thinking about it. Why are all of the products we buy in our stores so expensive? And it was brought to me by Senator Ed Case, Mazie Hirono. It's the Jones Act. The Jones Act is what drives up all of the prices in Hawaii of all of our products, which means all the products around the world has to go to the coast, west coast of the United States of America and come here to Hawaii. Why can't we apply the Jones Act to the coronavirus? Why is our airport still open to foreigners that may have the coronavirus, like the Japanese guy who spread them on Maui and Oahu, came up on the news, in our islands? Why doesn't the Jones Act apply to the coronavirus, guys? So I just got to give the coronavirus and the Jones Act a big fat smash.
Big fat smash. KP, Mana'o on this.
Okay, so you want to talk about the coronavirus. You got to go way back to the original coronavirus, when Captain Cook first arrived here and brought diseases and decimated our population from an estimated 1 million down to 30,000 Kanaka Maoli. That's the first coronavirus. This coronavirus currently that actually was created in China, if you look at today's report, there's 66,000 Chinese infected with this. And so the thing is this is the second coming of the coronavirus to the Hawaiian Kingdom. And we need to put a stop to this. Because currently, if we have our borders open, it's going to be here. It's going to arrive here. And our people and our population is going to start dying.
So, give it to him.
All right. So, even like the Jones Act, you need to understand this Jones Act it's been in place for a long time. It started in World War One. And it continues today. So in some aspects, they treat Hawaii as a foreign country because they're sending all the goods to the United States. Then it comes back into the Hawaiian Kingdom. So think about that. So on both accounts, it's a smash.
It's a smash. KP, thank you for bringing up the historical context of World War One and the Jones Act, because a lot of people just think that it's a new acquirement that the state has put on.
Yes.
But this was a direct implementation to affect the Hawaiian Kingdom.
Yes.
To make sure that our products were getting extorted by many in-between people.
Right. It's all about making money.
It's all about making money. So the coronavirus, I have to give a F to the state of Hawaii for their horrible defense and their horrible lies. They continue to say nobody touched down on Ko Hawaii Pai Aina with this ailment. They left it open 4 days or 3 days after the Darkside of Hawaiian Politics posted it.
Right. So it's a reflection
Yes.
of the occupiers' governor.
Yes.
Chiluk, like last week, he's the worst governor in the so-called United States. And that's a reflection of how he's treating the coronavirus by leaving our borders open for us to being exposed.
So there you go, Kako. I have to give him a smash because with no defense, you win no championships. So there you have it for this coronavirus defense failure,
Right.
that continues to plague our communities.
Right.
Up next, DJ Derbs, Hawaiian Affairs Committee.
This 2020 legislature, the Hawaiian Affairs chairs, I call them, I looked at the Associated Press national news, and the title of it is Hawaii Panel Backs Native Hawaiian Reconciliation Commission. And I wonder, okay, Hawaii panel, must be Hawaiians on that panel there. But when you look at the Hawaiian Affairs Committee, Maile Shimabukuro, alias, only Japanese, not Hawaiian. And then when you look at the Land, Water, and Hawaiian Affairs Committee chair, Ryan Yamane, both Japanese, resident aliens here in the Hawaiian Kingdom, and they're making all of the decisions that affect the Hawaiians. Why? When are we going to have a Hawaiian prime minister in Japan making all of the decisions for the Japanese? Why do Hawaiians think or feel that it's okay to have Japanese making the last and final decision about all Hawaiian affairs, which relates to the state of Hawaii and the 2020 legislature? So there's misleading information everywhere. There's resident aliens making decisions for Hawaiians everywhere. Hawaiians, you gotta wake up. So I just gotta give those Hawaiian affairs panel, the Hawaii panel, a big smash, because Japanese, you don't represent me. You cannot make decisions for me. I can make my own decisions. So I got to give you guys a smash.
KP.
Okay. So we're talking about HCR 37. That's the bill, all right? And what people need to realize, this so-called Blue Ribbon Commission reconciliation is a false narrative, because you cannot have the occupiers making decisions on behalf of the Hawaiian population. First of all, they're talking about Native Hawaiians. There's no such thing as Native Hawaiians. We're Aboriginal Hawaiians. We're Hawaiian subjects. That's so they're pushing one false narrative, and as you can see, the whole thing is all non-Hawaiians. It's a non-Hawaiian process to actually, it's supposed to benefit the Hawaiian subjects, okay? And you have to also look at, Connor. She also brought up some of the reconciliations around the world. So she mentions New Zealand, Australia, Canada, for a few. But if you look at the reconciliation in each of those countries, these people are colonized They're indigenous. They're native of the place. So they're trying to fit a circle, the Hawaiian Kingdom, into a square. And it's not going to work. Because people know that we are Hawaiian subjects and we're occupied. We're not colonized. So this whole shenanigans about, reconciliation is not going to work. Because if anything's going to happen on the occupation, it has to come from the United States, not the fake state. Because currently the only valid laws in the occupied state, the Hawaiian Kingdom, is Hawaiian Kingdom law and international law, not so-called fake state law. So we shouldn't, be anywhere near this commission, and we just have to shut it down and say, you know what, you're not authorized to actually, create this commission because we're not indigenous and we're not colonized.
So give them what they deserve, man.
It's a smash.
It's a smash.
Shut it down.
So, HCR 23, Hawaiian Affairs Committee, Shimu Baruku, and Mr. Yamine. Sorry if I didn't get that right, but they all sound alike, they all look alike, and they all vote alike.
What the guy name? Mina.
Mina. These guys continue to push this false narrative that is being pushed through the Hawaiian Affairs Committee, who voted unanimously to put Bill Amalaya on the throne of the Department of Hawaiian Homelessness. So these people have shown recklessly the incompetency that they carry and the relationships of corruption that they hold in their back bebedy straps. These guys are continuing down this path of reconciliation, but I want reparations. We don't need no reconciliations around here. We had enough sorries, public law, apology, right? That sorry was over 100 years ago. So I actually want some ainoho pula pula, some mea ai, and maybe a good job, maybe, right? And maybe we could get a mayor or something in there for the Kingdom of Hawaii, maybe a new governor. But until then, real simple, Kako. We have to smash and hold these people accountable. Because when you smell fear and you see people trying to make this blue ribbon agreement, we only had one ribbon agreement, and it was red. So smash, Kako. Anytime you see these crisis actors, let them know. Next up on the chopping block, the last three for the Darkside of Hawaiian Politics, smash or pass, we have our favorite menu of the day. First over, KP, Fast Track Eddie, and our legendary Uncle Skipito, lawsuit for DHHL.
Well, if you look at the where they're coming from, they actually are part of the so-called Hawaiian Homes Commission, and they're asking for reparations, right, and restitution. They're asking for monies that the so-called fake state of Hawaii used on the road. So now they want reparation and restitution. But you see, if they win, those monies, it's not going to them.
Tell them.
It's going back to DHHL, right? So it's like, you're actually promoting exchanging money from one state hand to another state hand, right? At the end of the day, yeah. So I have my own personal opinions on that, yeah, because I firmly stand on, the Hawaiian Kingdom law, international law, and for me personally, DHHL doesn't exist under Kingdom law nor international law. But hey,
it's a simple solution to them.
Right.
And give it to them.
Yeah. So, but see, at the same time, they're everybody moving forward. They're moving forward for justice, in their own way. Like I say, you know what? Everybody can cut their own trail, but we're all going to meet on the top of the mauna, right? So,
do them a favor.
So more power to them. Yeah. So for that situation, they're actually bringing out the injustice from the fake state of Hawaii and DHHL. So for them, I'll give them a pass.
KP giving up the P today. DJ Derbs, Uncle Skipito, and Haleo Aloha.
I'm shocked at the Japanese again. Alan Murakami, the attorney, who's leading this charge for the Native Hawaiian Legal Corporation. Yeah, Alan, you know about us, the Beneficiary Trust Council. You know about us putting our haleo kuhio about up there. You know about us finding the jurisdiction of the road 3 years ago, Mr. Alan Murakami. But yet, you choose the former DHHL lawyer, Edward Halealoha Ayao, to make the deal so that the money goes back to the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. So when I look at that, I just look at the money changing from one pocket to the other pocket because they're all state agencies. And when you read through the thing, it talks about DLNR, DHHL, and DOT making a agreement about the transfer of the road. And I'm like, where's the beneficiaries in all of this? The beneficiaries have the priority. The beneficiaries have the right. Why are the state agencies continuing to remove the beneficiaries from this discussion, from this determination, from making the decisions of who owns the road? Here we was living up there for years. So, because DHHL was created in 1963 by the state of Hawaii, all I gotta say is that it's another state agency trying to steal from Congress this time. They're trying to steal from Prince Kuhio's work in 1920 through Congress, creating the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act. So for that, I gotta give the Japanese Alan Murakami for forgetting about the Beneficiary Trust Council in this lawsuit. I gotta give him a smash.
Smash. So, this lawsuit, DHHL, mahalo Uncle Skipito. I know Ho'opula legendary, but it does draw, scrutiny when you have government agents filing upon government agencies to seek remedy. And so, when I see Uncle Skippy, who has been on the Aina Ho'opula for many decades, it brings me light and encouragement that they actually executed this, because without, I believe, Uncle Skippy guys getting involved, it's just another government agency stroking off the next government hand. So, with that being said, I mahalo everybody for going out there and handing that lawsuit in. Uncle Skipito, this is for you. But for Mr. Murakami to not come and talk to Moko Keave and Na Ohana, who have been collecting data, we must smash because of that issue alone. You must come to the beneficiaries who have put in the legacy work, who have the legacy documents, who have continued to engage in our communities. So, Alan, this is not a bad smash. It's just letting you know, come smash on our door. Our door is always open, Darkside of Hawaiian Politics. So, there you have it for the lawsuit of DHHL. Next up, on the chopping block, we have the AG's response today. KP, Mrs. Con Artist Connors, her response
On
to the DHHL lawsuit. She had a response to that. And her response, there is no competent claims.
legal
Kupuna
or
ka.
otherwise.
KP, competent claims. AG.
This is actually, the occupiers, their spin on the whole thing. And he's saying that there's no valid claim. There is a valid claim. Because first of all, when they actually created this access road to Mauna Kea, they never let anybody know within DHL. They just built the road, right? So that's a key thing. They built the road without any compensation, right? And then to me, that's a number one issue. And to say that there's no legal claim, there is a legal claim that they used the road for how many years, and yet there was no exchange of property or monies given back to the agency for the state to use this property when they built the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I give Connors a smash.
DJ Derbs. AG response. Kumanao.
Claire, Makaainana, Commoners, AG, up once again. So I gotta bring us back to the Honouliuli Japanese internment camps. So when the Japanese was interned for World War II, they receive reparations, not reconciliation. Reconciliation is just another confusing sorry that really doesn't do anything except further our confusion and our indoctrination. We already got the sorry from President Clinton in 1993. We already got the sorry from President Grover Cleveland in 1893. Why are we entertaining this idiotic reconciliation, time-consuming program by the AG? So it's only further evidence of the continued genocide of our minds, keeping us occupied with frivolous, waste time conversations. So, Claire, Makaainana, commoners, I gotta give you a pass for helping confuse all of the Hawaiians with your response there. Because you know it's a frivolous response that'll go nowhere. And you know we need reparations and not reconciliation. So I'm going to give you a pass for the continued genocide of the Hawaiian minds in the Hawaiian Kingdom.
So, AG Connor, the con artist, continuing her streak to pillage our native Hawaiian trust and try to con the Congressional Act of Congress. We have to give these kind of special creatures the attention they need. They need high quality of Kanaka by the pound, and they need all of the Kanaka lands, because this irresponsible con artist is continuing to tell everybody that the road has been satisfied in 1995 by Act 14. And this is so disturbing that these guys are sitting in the back room plotting to fool Congress. They're not fooling the Kanaka, they're trying to fool Congress. Lahui. The arrogancy of these immigrants continuing to lie to the federal act that they are the Hawaiians and that they did the deal in 1995. Well, if they did a deal in 95, then what happened to the apology in 93?
Right.
We never see no reconciliation from that, let alone you gave away lands at 95, Miss Dear Con Artist. So there you have it, Kako. I can't say any more about the Con Artist special, but the more you hear them talk, the more you know you're dealing with the Kepolo.
Right.
Because only the Kepolo can post lies and continue to pillage our trust and lie to Congress of what's really going down in Mauna Kea town. So, everybody, go to the Mauna. Kupuna needs your help. They're putting up and taking down debris. We had high winds. So, the road is ours. Our kupuna is ours. They're there on the road. So, if you guys have time today, go up there and go emalama our kupuna. Because that is our road and that are our national treasures, our kupuna. Next up is number 9. Missile defense gets denied out in Moku, Mano Kalanipo. The missile defense has failed to reach the agreements.
Right.
KP?
I think it's the best thing for our country, the Hawaiian Kingdom, because as the occupiers, the United States military, make a more buildup of arsenal. We're actually targets. Yeah. So, and then that's a problem because we're under occupation, and it's the American military complex. They're actually making us targets. From North Korea, China, Russia, and we have to have all efforts to stop any further buildup of any military complex in the Hawaiian Kingdom. So with that,
Simple.
I give it a pass that, this ill-conceived, conception of, missiles and all that stuff, defense, they're not going to build it. So I give it a pass for stopping this.
There you go. DJ Derbs.
All I gotta say is housings, majors, barking sands, best in and out barrels in the entire archipelago. right at
yes.
the military missile base down out west side. You gotta catch some of those barrels, guys. And mahalo for the Kauai Ohana for defending our Mano Kalani Po from further military buildup, which will in fact increase the heightened awareness of enemies to look at Hawaii as the first place to launch their missile, just like Kim Jong-il was purported as, and President Trump, said that he would, and we did have the missile scare. So it is a reality. We all suffer from that PTSD. So these are real issues that affect our real health, and we do not need any more bad health, because the state of Hawaii gives us enough bad health with their legislation and news titles every single week. So I gotta give the Kauai brothers out there, Mano Kalani Po, a pass, and mahalo brothers out there and sisters. Good job.
You know that. Whenever you can successfully defend your
Yes.
moku without bearing arms is a pass.
A pass.
Kako, it's definitely a pass. To those Ohana out there who have petitioned, who have prayed, who have walked the grounds, and who continue to malama the space. This one is for you. We always try to look for something positive within the news week that is historical to us, because we are dealing with Pohakuloa on our moku too. So these things hit home to us, and we, the cousins and KP, have continuing to be vigilant upon our moku and upon RIMPAC and the effects that it has on our crown lands, on our Ali'i awards, all over our mokus.
Yeah.
So mahalo once again, Mano Kalani Po, for handling your guys' kuleana out there. You guys are truly an inspiration for our families out in Ko'awai Pai'aina to step up and no shame, reclaim. Take back your kuleana. Our last one on a chopping block, you guys thought that we forgot? Yesterday marked the 301 day of colonizing Captain Crook. DJ Derbs, let's go.
So that's what I call the coronavirus arriving in 1778, called Captain Cook. He came, he dropped the coronavirus, I mean. Our population got decimated, and then he returned. He thought we was going to forget about his coronavirus that he left with our people. And he tried to kidnap our uncle, Kalani Pu'u. So we just had to smash his head and take him to Hikiau Heiau, divide him up in parts, and use his intestines for boxing rings around the island. So February 14th, Valentine's Day, is only another layer of indoctrination and colonizing the minds of our people to forget about how we killed the coronavirus that decimated many countries around the world, like our brothers and sisters out in Aotearoa, our brothers and sisters out in the South Pacific. They actually thank us for killing that coronavirus called Captain Cook. And there lays a memorial that some of our brothers and sisters out there is working really hard to remove, because it's happening now all over the world. That they realize that Captain Cook only came and dropped off diseases, killed our indigenous peoples. So that's why do not celebrate the fake money-making holiday, Valentine's Day. And remember how the Hawaiians should be the most proud people in the world for killing the coronavirus called Captain Cook, for stealing, decimating our population, and trying to kidnap our ali'i kalani o pu'u. So I gotta give Valentine's Day a smash, but killing Captain Cook a pass.
KP.
Okay, I just want to actually share history, okay? Because Kalaniʻopuʻu, I'm a direct descendant from Kalaniʻopuʻu. Okay, so that's a misconception, is when they actually killed Captain Cook, they ate him. They never ate him. What happened was, during the time of Kalaniʻopuʻu's reign on the islands, he had 6 districts. So what he did is he divided Captain Cook's iwi, and he gave it to all of the other ali'is on each moku. He had his own personal parts of Captain Cook. Okay, so when the British wanted his remains back, what they got back was Kalani Opu'u's, his possession, the remains of Captain Cook. He's not going to go back to the other 6 districts and say, oh, you know what, I like all the EV back because we got to give them. He couldn't do that as protocol. So what he did when he gave out, redistribute the EV, is actually giving mana. It's giving power to each and every of his ali'i, from Hilo, Puna, Ka'u, and the list goes on. But we never ate Captain Cook. Okay, even if he wasn't a god,
You like eat the
they treated him like anybody else. Mana is in Evi. So they went, the whole, they took him, they actually prepared him, to give it to the gods. Then afterwards, then they throw his remains in the imu, right? Because the flesh is worthless. Okay, so what they wanted is the Evi. So they collected the Evi, washed it, prepared it, and distributed the Evi. Okay, and so another thing today, this is actually real interesting. So we have a group of Kanakas actually down at Kealakekua Bay, and they're actually educating people about what happened down in Kealakekua Bay with Captain Cook. And this is a 10-year process. And they today they have actually, he's a descendant of one of the ali'i or mo'i from Tonga. So we encourage everybody from Polynesia to send their representative up next year, as we can kuka about what happened, during the time of Captain Cook. So I encourage you guys, if you guys have time, go down Kealakekua Bay and go and talk story with Kalani Susa guys down there. So they're going to be there this weekend. So I encourage you guys, go down there and talk story with them. But on the matter of Captain Cook, I give him a smash, because he brought all this havoc, death to our people. Mm-hmm. But with the newly created group down Kealakekua Bay, I give him a pass.
There you go, KP. Mahalo for giving that insight, because now it made it more easier for me to do the rundown. So, colonizing Captain Cook. We do have organizations that are forming. Go ahead, check out change.org. Joshua Pajimola, Maele, lineal descendant from Kona. He actually has enough signatures. I think he rallied up 1,000 to go ahead and address the statue down there that brings mass amount of tourism that come along the ways. They showed a great clip on Na'au News now of the doo-doo alongside the trail, the broken down cars, the county roads for accessibles. These are just a few things that the state and the Harry Spicy Kimchi needs to get a grip of themselves, because this is where our kupuna iwi le. So like KP said, if you guys have time, go check out Change.org, go down Kealakekua Bay to go and link up with these Kanaka, and we'll have some post-up links to find them. But next year, save the date. 302 years, yes. So come on down to Kealakekua, and we're going to leave a link where we can get connected with KP and the other Ohana that are continuing this endeavor of education. We see out in Manokalani Po talking about their statue right now. And we also know that up in Canada and other parts of America, they already addressed this issue. So this is not a new issue. It's a colonizing issue that we only have choose to take on now. So just like you said, for the Kona measles bumps and the coronavirus, we must smash on everything that comes through those parts. But we also must keep in mind that we must give a pass to all of our brothers and cousins and sisters out there throughout the Aina that continue to hold up this legacy of education, where we need to get together and spread it more. So that wraps it up for this week. February 15, 2020, Smash or Pass episode, DJ Derbs, Kupuna Pono. The next two up to wrap it up for our 11th episode, or 10th?
10th.
10th.
10th episode.
Our Constitutional Oathbreaker Awards go to KP. Would you like to welcome him?
Okay, I would, say it's the occupier, the governor, the attorney general, to making this false claims.
We giving him a good luau plate. Huh? We're taking a scoop of
yes.
everybody on this Constitutional
Right.
Breaker.
And then, everybody who's actually, even our own people, who's making false claims that it's okay to vote in the 2020 elections and also be counted in the 2020 census. It's that if you're a Hawaiian subject, you live in a kingdom, you're not going to participate in a foreign election, in a foreign census. If that's the case, why don't you vote in a Chinese election, African election, or Canadian election? Because it's all foreign countries, including the United States and a fake state. They're foreign entities.
There you go. Wrap it up, DJ.
So in the Star Advertiser, Hawaii Attorney General's office hires nationally known ethics expert Hui Chen. So Hui Chen resigned from her position in the U.S. Department of Justice when the firing of FBI Director James Comey was fired. So she has a specialization in complex litigation and fraud. So hopefully, Attorney General Claire Connors can utilize her expertise to sniff out the fraud, to sniff out the state of Hawaii bribes that we still never got a response yet from who's the DHHL employee that accepted the bribes from the engineers, the associate program that had fraud in Guam and other areas. So we're still waiting. So let's hope that Hui Chen can shed some light on the long history of fraud, constitutional oath breaking of the Hawaii State Constitution, and bring some government employees to trial so we can indict them for the crimes and violence that they committed on Hawaiians through the 1920 Hawaiian Homes Commission Act, guys.
AG Connors, Constitutional Oathbreaker winner. I think she's on a streak, KP.
Oh yeah,
And
it's a streak.
every other episode, I feel like she has led the forefront of this conspiracy to defraud and con our nation and the Constitution that she has sworn to uphold. So there you have it. Your Constitutional Oathbreaker winner and champ is continuously winning is AG Con Artist Connor. So our Constitutional Oathbreaker segment award, AG Connor. Last two clips before we head out for your episode 10. Makahana Ka'ike. KP, the must-do for the week.
All right, so all of you Hawaiian subjects out there and also supporters, I would challenge you to take note of the definition of reconciliation versus reparations.
There you go. Makahana Ka'ike. KP, restoration or reconciliation. Kanaka. Some homework.
Yes.
And then go ahead and respond on Darkside of Hawaiian Politics. DJ Derbs, must do.
So Monday is President's Day. So we need to remember our treaties of friendship in 1849 with America and the Hawaiian Kingdom, 1875, 1883, and 1884. Those are treaties that are still in place between the Hawaiian Kingdom and the United States of America. So therefore, you need to email on President's Day President Trump, the senators who work in Congress from Hawaii, to initiate the investigative reparation process to deoccupy the Hawaiian Kingdom so Hawaiians can receive justice once throughout this 127 years. So please email President Trump on President's Day to recognize our treaties between the Hawaiian Kingdom and the United States of America so that we can operate once again in justice, peace, and neutrality, the Hawaiian Kingdom.
So, must do makahana kaike for this week is, if you guys were updated Kako Star advertisement, I think a few days ago had posted that they want to hear from you, the homeless Hawaiians who are waiting on death row for Department of Homeless Hawaiians death list. So I encourage you guys to make a date. I think they're being a little bit discriminative with this. They're only in Waianae and in Waimanalo. I think we should tell Star Advertisers to get their butt up into the bushes out in Mokuokeave and the rest of Ko Hawaii Pai Aina, where the national heirs and the Hawaiian Kingdom heirs live. So, must do this week. People on death lists, on the Department of Homeless Hawaiian death list, email Star Advertiser or be at their community meetings. I think yesterday or today is the first or second out in Waianae. So, to do, go over there and raise hell and let them know that you are getting off of death row and you're getting pardoned today. So, Star Advertiser, be ready. Mahalo, everybody, for tuning in for our last, for September 15th, February 15th, 2020.
And I
Some announcements.
also want to thank our sponsors.
Yes.
Kanakakawa, located in Coconut Grove in Kailua Kona on Ali'i Drive. They're open from 10 a.m. Till 11 p.m. daily. So go out and check out Kanakakawa for great food, ava, and other products.
Yes, your Rapid Aloha section. Right. KP hitting it.
808 Collision down in the industrial area in Kona. If you have a fender bender, you need some top first class painting, go to 808 Collision.
Mahalo to our sponsor, Ma'ala'a and Pa'a, continuing to give you the news on this weekly basis. Mahalo to Na'au News Now for continuing to sponsor and to support our endeavors throughout Ko Hawaii Pai Aina. Mama?
Okay, that's all the sponsor we have.
No. We got a couple. We actually
Oh,
got a
yeah.
couple.
Okay, we have
got a
more.
couple.
You gotta get that shrimp tempura from Kawamoto's right down the street.
yeah,
the
yeah,
best
yeah.
onomos. Shrimp tempura, mahi mahi, ono, and ahi, and don't forget that string beans.
I hope we're getting discounts with all these things, bro, because you're making my motto dry, wet out every time when you talk about this shrimp stuff.
Well, probably we're going over there afterwards.
Well, no, you know that's where we're going. But mahalo to He Hawaii once again for sponsoring. Go check out Aloha Wear at Aloha Swap Meet, Uncle Roscoe for your local Kia'i gear. And this week, go up there, go check out your kupuna out on the ala. We do need support and help out there. So go ahead and take a spin up there or pull over if you're going across the Saddle Road. Please check on our kupuna. Don't forget about them. We love and we appreciate what they do. But go ahead and send your mana'o and your love out there and go and help. Mahalo, everybody, for Saturday, February 15th, 2020, Darkside of Hawaiian Politics, National Crisis, Kupuna Pono, DJ Derbs. Mahalo kako. To next week, Saturday, we out.
All right, stay safe.
Not talked about yet. So stay tuned. We'll be back in 120 seconds. Keep us on the shot clock. Aloha Kako. Oh, you guys can jump in too. You guys can listen and respond. Aloha Kako. Welcome back to Darkside of Hawaiian Politics. We are on the Get Connected session. We got a phone caller in from our tita out in Oahu, bringing us some news and getting us connected to the issues that just took place. SB bill.
Yes, SB 42. So, and then there's the hearing on the House Concurrent Resolution 37, right? And still no land, water.
Yes.
Affairs Committee report.
Yes, I seen that. How did that go?
So it said that it needs to be out the latest by the end of March.
Okay, so heads up, yeah, Kako. This bill, yeah. Could you describe a little bit about this bill?
So that's the Blue Ribbon Committee, right?
Yeah, right, the blue ribbon. So they have a time date for this, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so is there any other updates that is coming out of your guys' moku that we need to get everybody connected with? Do it bills or any upcoming community events that we need to direct and funnel our Kanaka to?
Healani and Kalahui, Hawaii is doing a Navigating the Legislator Testimony Writing Workshop.
Yes, when is that?
She had one in town
Right.
on the 13th, but she has one coming up in Wahiawa on Tuesday the 18th from 6:30 to 8. That's the next one. And then she's also going to do one in Waianae after that too.
Oh, okay. So this is a string of events that these wonderful Manawahine are putting together.
Lani Sonora Pale, yeah, she's wonderful.
Yes.
And then also on the 28th is my dad's sister's case against the development in Maini.
Yes, yes.
The low income to justify the multi-million dollar plans that they have for Makaha.
And when is when is this this gathering?
That one is February 28th at 3.
At where?
With Judge Chang.
Judge Chang. Okay. So Kako, if you guys can make it down there to support, there's a wealth of education and history that will be revealed and shared down there. Likewise, so if you guys can come out and support our Ohana out in Oahu in these trying times, that would be awesome. And so, yeah, do you guys have any other events that you guys want us to kind of get out there that people can get connected with?
There's two quotas. One in March. Also, she's going to be in Waianae because she's going to start her campaigning.
Yes.
She's going to go for city council, but then she's still going to run for 2022 governor too.
Oh, so she is. She's going to the governor seat too pretty soon.
She wants to do that too. Yeah.
Do you have any Kanakas down there that are eyeing up that position?
For governor.
Governor, lieutenant governor, you know.
Just June James, right? The one from Laie, James. She's running for mayor.
Oh, okay. There you go. Could you say that name again? I didn't hear that name. Could you say that for
June James.
June James?
CHOON.
Oh yeah.
She's Korean.
Yes. Mhm.
Oh, okay. I just
The
couldn't
one
hear.
that's still with us at Kahuku.
Oh, yes. I'm familiar with her. I'm actually a kind of fan of her.
Call Wahilani to run for something.
Oh, that could.
City Council.
Right?
Oh, is he running? Waianae City Council, right? So if Kauko was out there, there you go, right? Waianae
Judge.
City Council.
And then also in May we have Aloha I Know Weekend too. You guys should come. It's like a 3-day thing we have in Makaha. And then we have all the speakers and everybody come out too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we were invited a couple of times, but I had a keiki and we had, yeah. So I think if we do have time, I think Kauko'ohu kind of always reached out to us. And I feel so horribly bad that we couldn't not made it out due to the respects of our future Ali'is being born. But I mean, the Ali'is are here now, so maybe we can come out down and meet our families out that way. But yeah, I've heard wonderful things about there. I know you guys hold it every year, yeah?
Honolulu, yes. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, so Kako, if you out there.
Last year.
Yes.
Hospital usually comes.
Yes, right.
The craft panties, yeah.
So Kako, if you guys got time, we got beautiful Manawahine out there with a wealth of Ike, just ready to share. Just like she said, Auntie Mililani was there last year, Auntie Kukakalau. So these are very high profile kupunas with great ike out in our community that we need to absorb when we have the opportunities.
Yes.
Yes. And your idea about the Kuleana Lands group, like going together, like if anybody needs something from the archives, I can print it out too.
Oh, there you go, Kako. We have a Hawaiian Kingdom secretary ready to hand out the business and education on Oahu. Thank you again, always, Tita, for calling in and keeping us connected with what's going on in your moku, because we can't be there all the time, but we would like to help get people there so they can get connected and get the input that they do need to make the proper decisions. Yeah. And who is running for Oha out there? Our cousin, Jamauli.
Oh,
Kai-
which one?
Brother Jamauli.
Asmo?
Right, Kaipo. Yeah, Kaipo, right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kaipo.
Yeah.
Kaipo's running out there, right, for Oha?
Is that Hanakahi?
No? Council C, Kalamai. Council C, Kalani Kalima.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kalani Kalima too. So all of these things, like those are the things that really have to encourage our people to get involved. But once again, everybody, this is our Tita Kekai from Oahu, and if you guys know her, you guys are blessed. And if you guys don't, please reach out to her. She has the time and energy and the skills to help Kako'o for you to go home. And so no be scared. Say mahalo, buy her lunch, and go ahead and get connected with her when you guys are out in Oahu. But once again, thank you, Tito, for calling in and keeping us connected with what's going on.
Mahalo, malam punoko.
Yes. Love you guys.
Okay. We hope.
Aloha.
Bye, aloha.
Kako, sorry, had a couple other phone calls we couldn't get to. It's been a crazy fast episode, but thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Darkside of Hawaiian Politics. KP, DJ Derbs, The National Crisis. Mahalo for you guys' time, for inviting us into your ears. Please vote, smash, take the surveys, and we'll try and get one of your concerns posted on next week's Smash or Pass. Mahalo again, Ma'ala'a and Pa'a for
All right.
hosting us.
Until next Saturday, stay safe in the kingdom.
Eo, mahalo kako.